once again, race fans. Welcome back to another episode of the Drop in the Hammer Racing Hour here on the Grueling Truth where legends speak. It's been a while. I'm Alex Gray, along here with Michael Klein. Also joining us here today is NASCAR Xfinity Series driver Preston Pardus. Preston, thanks for joining us today.
Hey, I appreciate it. Thank you guys for getting me on here.
Of course.
No problem, man.
So to start off this episode, this is something that Michael, really all of us, want to address about a friend of ours who has an incredible talent. He's an incredible designer, incredible artist. His name's Noah Sweet, or otherwise known as Lefty. He's designed a lot of things. He's made a bunch of concept cars. He's actually designed cars for people. He's designed all sorts of them. And he's super creative in what he does. And unfortunately, just in the past couple of days, he has been pretty much been bullied off of social media, off the internet by people for making a Pride car. I think it was a LGBT themed Pride ally car. That, it was like a contest. And we just want to say that we love and care about Lefty very much, and we're thankful he's okay, and we support him very much. Cyberbullying has been an issue for a long time, and it's horrifying to me that people think they can get away with bullying people just for designing something. It just mind boggles me. If you guys have anything to say.
Noah, if you're watching this, man, we love you. We care for you. I'm sure some of us know what it's like to go through something like that. I've dealt with cyberbullying and bullying in real life. So we just really hope you can get better, man. We love you and we miss you, man.
Yeah, I'd echo what you guys say. Obviously, cyberbullying, it's just as bad as real-life bullying. You never want to see anyone go through that, and we support you, and I love your designs. You always see them on social media, and they're some of the best concept designs out there, so whenever I see those posts of those cars and stuff, it always puts a smile on my face at least, so we're thinking about you.
Exactly. We're all thinking about Noah, and I've been loving the trend of the hashtag #WeLoveLefty. Because we certainly love him and we care about him very much. All right.
Also, real quick, on that note, also want to send prayers out to USF 2000 driver Braden Neves. Looks like he just had a massive crash in the USF 2000 event at Indianapolis. You guys are Exclusive Autosport. My former teammate works for that team. They helped us out on our midget last week. They're a bunch of nice dudes. So far, it doesn't look like we have any updates on his condition, so please just pray for Braden right now.
We're definitely praying for him. We're hoping that he's okay.
Yeah, Preston, if you didn't see that just happened. So.
At Indy? Yeah, they got the Mazda stuff out there, don't they, this weekend?
Yeah, this was in the USF 2000. It looks like what basically happened is a wheel popped off, and as he spun around, his car launched over it, and it landed, right on its roof.
Oh, that's terrible.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Is that all right?
Someone said he apparently was talking over the radio, but other than that, there's no update on his condition.
Okay. All right. Well, we're definitely thinking about him and as well, and it's a reminder that any form of auto racing can be dangerous, and never knows what they're going into every time they get in a car. I'm sure, Mike, you've felt that before as well. So, auto racing, but I really hope, I should say that it's just part of the entire thing, and hopeful that he will walk out A-okay in this situation.
Yeah. I think that's something that any racer kind of has to throw in the back of their mind, especially when you consider dirt racing, which, that's what I do, and that's honestly one of the more dangerous forms. So it's definitely something that's always in the back of your mind, but you also just kind of, I don't want to say you forget about it, but, like, you just kind of accept it, sort of,
Mm-hmm.
Or sometimes you don't even think about it, but, it's definitely the reality that, unfortunately, I don't think that's ever going to change. And stuff like that kind of reminds me of that.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. Okay. All right, so moving on to the next topic. Obviously, we got Preston Pardus in here with us. Preston, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and your racing career?
Yeah, of course. I would say it's a little different than most and probably Xfinity. We've been running the Spec Miatas for the past 5 or 6 years at somewhat at a national level. And last year we finally dove into the stock car racing scene. We did the 2 Xfinity starts on the road courses at Road America and Charlotte. They went all right for our family team, and then this year been driving the DGM 36 car on all the road course events so far. It's been a pretty good year so far for us, so it's been fun.
Awesome. And obviously you've had some really good runs as well this season. The first race on the Indianapolis road course, you finished 10th, and Road America, you finished 8th as well.
Yeah, no, it was cool. Indy was really special. Anytime you get a race there in anything, it's really cool, especially an Xfinity car. Luckily for me, it wasn't my first time being there. We did the Spec Miata, the national championships there in 2017. So I had some track time on it, so that was good compared to most guys without any road course experience. And then Road America, we go there quite a bit in the Miatas. So we got some track time there, and the Xfinity boys, they've been there for a while too. I think they've been there for 10 or so years on that road course. So we're kind of, I guess, we don't really have an advantage when we go to that track. But it's been a good year so far. We had good runs, and it's been nice to have good finishes too to go with them.
Oh, certainly. And I'm assuming you're planning to run the Roval race as well?
Yeah, that's our plan so far. That's our only event we kind of have set in stone so far to close out the year for us. We did the Roval last year. I had a pretty good showing there, speed-wise, other than me destroying the car in practice. So that wasn't good. But luckily we were able to fix the car and run that event. But we'll do Charlotte, and I don't know, maybe do an oval sometime in the future. I don't know if it's this year or not, but hopefully sometime.
Okay.
Yeah, I love that car. Just the way you just kind of threw random nose on there. I thought that was awesome. I don't know why. I just love it when that happens.
Yeah, no, it was actually, unfortunately, it was a good thing because I think our car stood out a little bit more than normal. I don't know what the deal was last year, but everyone had a white and orange and designed car, so it didn't stand out against everyone else, and then end up taking the nose off and go with the composite, and it stands out a lot better. Everyone liked it, so I don't know. We were thinking about leaving that this year as a primary design, but we thought better of it. No, it was cool. It was a cool car, and it ran good too, so that was the key. So it was good.
All right. And I'm assuming maybe down the line, if that opportunity comes, would you look into running full-time and like the Xfinity Series or something like that?
Yeah, definitely. I would love to. Unfortunately, it comes down to funding, though.
Right.
So if we find some sponsors that want to pitch in and stuff, definitely. It's kind of hard to say no to that, especially the equipment we got right now is pretty good. So I don't know. We'll see, but luckily we've been doing all the road courses. I thought we were only going to be able to do 1 or 2 road courses a year, and this year already we ran 3, and we're planning on doing another one closing the year. So we'll see how it goes, but like I said, it comes down to funding at the end of the day.
Yep. Yeah, unfortunately, as a fellow racer, I know that way too much.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, it's nice because, like I said, we did the Miata stuff the past few years, and for what it is, it's pretty inexpensive. That's kind of why I stayed out of the stock car ranks per se. I mean, I didn't do a lot of oval track racing like late models or even the super lates or stuff like that, just because the dollar value is so high. Luckily, Miata racing, I mean, it obviously any type of racing is expensive, but you kind of got the bang for the buck, more or less, getting to go to premier tracks and kind of do it on a budget with a production-based car. So on the side of doing the Xfinity stuff, although we're only doing 3 or 4 a year, I still can do the Miata stuff at a national level, which is nice.
Yeah, and, also in those few Xfinity races you do, you're usually putting in pretty good performances, so, you're definitely getting your name out.
Yeah, no, that's always key, too. I mean, it's always nice when you can go to an Xfinity race and run against those big-budget teams. I mean, I don't think you're really more or less expected to run with, the premier teams when you're kind of not on a underfunded budget, but you don't really have what they have on a yearly basis, obviously. So the runs that we do have is great. And we got a great crew under us. Like I said, Mario Goslin's team's awesome. And we got Tony Furr on the box, and he's got plenty of experience in the NASCAR ranks, working with guys like Nadeau, John Andretti, when Andretti won his first Cup race, Daytona, a bunch of guys. So it's always good to have experience in the box, and that definitely pays off on the results.
Oh, yeah.
It's good. I mean, it's awesome, especially hanging out with Tony and stuff, getting to hear all those old stories about racing with those guys. So it's always cool. It's always a fun time.
Definitely. And, obviously things are a little tougher right now with funding, of course, with the sudden breakout of the pandemic and the uncertainty really going around, especially, what life will be like after the pandemic is over as well, what things will look like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, to add to it, I mean, like you said, funding it's pretty hard to come. Not hard. It's hard to come by normally, but especially right now, it's hard to ask companies to come on board. Especially, I mean, nothing the sporting world can do about it, but it's hard when normally you bring sponsors to the racetrack. You can bring a handful of their staff or whatever to enjoy the race weekend, and more or less you can't do that right now with no fans at the racetrack. So hopefully once this passes sooner than later, maybe we can feel a little uptick again. But like you said, it's hard to ask for funding and stuff, knowing what businesses are going through it, being a small business ourselves where we're you can kind of see it. So it's hard to ask for stuff.
Yeah,
absolutely. That's kind of why I've been out of the seat so much this year.
And it was so unpredictable. I mean, it's kind of a day-by-day basis. It's not, it's not obviously it's the first time it's happened, so you don't really have any history or plans to go by. So you're kind of just going on a day-by-day basis where you would probably go on a monthly basis before or something. So you just got to play it by ear.
Yeah. Obviously, I think it's taken its toll anywhere, really. Obviously, Levine Family Racing had to sell their team to Spire. Now we're hearing rumors about Germain Racing possibly being sold. There's been talks that Geico has not yet renewed because some sponsors are actually waiting. I think Bob Hawkers reported that. Some sponsors are waiting to see what they're going to do because of this pandemic. So there's just a lot of uncertainty going on, but I know we'll get through it. It's just what will things be like afterwards, pretty much, at this point. All right. Let's see. So the NASCAR playoffs, or at least the Cup Series, are officially here. Unfortunately, Jimmy Johnson missing the cut in his final season. Although he really gave it his all at Daytona, unfortunately, he just got caught up in a wreck that really wasn't his fault. He was right in the middle of it. So what do you guys think of the Cup Series playoffs, and who do you think are favorites? Obviously, Harvick and Hamlin are big favorites, but who are you liking in terms of Championship 4 and who's going to be champion here in just a couple months?
Of course, you got to put Harvick and Hamlin in there. I don't think anyone's avoid that. So, bold prediction here, I think Kyle Busch finally hits his stride here. I think he's about to go on the tear and get his way into the Championship 4. As for the fourth guy, that'd probably be a tough one to go on. Just the fact there's so much parity in the field beyond Harvick and Hamlin. I guess if I had to pick one, I would probably say Chase Elliott. I know a lot of people would say Brad Keselowski, but it seems like he kind of starts to fizzle out at this point. So I don't necessarily see him being a contender, necessarily going that far into it. So at that point, you're kind of going into Logano and Elliott, which Logano, for some reason, I don't know why this is. It seems like his strengths are always the very beginning of the year and the end of the year. That's just a trend I've kind of noticed with him, is that he'll run really well early in the year. He'll kind of fizzle off in the summer months. Then the playoffs come around is when he starts to hit a stride back. I mean, I think we saw that when he won the championship a few years ago. Because if you remember, I think I'm not sure which race it was, but it was one of the first, 5, I think. He didn't win a single race from then up until Martinsville, which punched his way into the 4. And then, of course, he wins Homestead. So it seems like Logano's the kind of guy who's able to be there when he needs to be. Meantime, Chase Elliott has really turned it up this year. So it's definitely going to come between those two. Honestly, don't know if I could really give you one that I think would have the advantage.
Yeah, I definitely see where you're coming from, and I think Chase Elliott is always a guy who's always on during the playoffs. I think the last 3 years he's come super close to getting a Championship 4, and something happens and he's just not there. I think this year could be a really good shot that Chase makes the Championship 4. And of course, you mentioned Logano. Obviously, 2018 that was the year of the big three between Harvick, Truex, and Kyle Busch. And Logano just came in and outperformed them all and took the championship. So, there's a lot of besides Harvick and Hamlin, there's a lot of unpredictability. But I'm going to have to go with Harvick, Hamlin, Elliott, and I will roll with Logano as well for the Championship 4.
Oh, I'd probably go with that one. I don't know. I pulled up the Chase grid, and I don't know. It's hard to argue against Hamlin and Harvick. I mean, without them both advancing to the Final Four, that would be hard to believe. I mean, with just the sheer speed they got right now is just, I don't know. They don't make mistakes, so I have a hard time seeing them mess up at Kansas, Texas, or Martinsville. But like you said, I don't know. The final 2 spots are just going to be the ones to watch. Obviously, I mean, Elliott's been so close just to get to the Final Four lately, and the Hinder cars finally have speed this year, it looks like, to get it done on all the tracks. I feel like he would advance, and then, I don't know, it's either Truex or Logano for me in that Final Four. I don't know which one, but we'll see, I guess.
Yeah, I really wanted to say Truex just because I've always liked him. It's just his performance this year, I just don't know if it's Championship 4. But you never know. He could turn it up here coming soon.
Yeah, he could. I mean, sometimes, you could go in with the greatest amount of stage points. You can go in with the greatest amount of wins. But, ever since the playoff era began in 2004 with chasing, It's to me about who's coming in the hottest. And, I think, there's always a chance of that wild card. 2011 was a prime example. Tony Stewart barely makes it into the chase. And he goes on to win half the chase races and wins the championship just out of nowhere. So, I mean, it's all about who's coming in hot. And we'll have to see who's hot and who's cold.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. But, let me see here.
So something I think I just need to touch on real quick here.
Yes.
Just for anyone here who doesn't follow me on social media, I am no longer with MWR Technology, which was my race team. I can't really go too into it, just from a gag order, sort of. But information was found out about the team, and once I found out about it, I realized I could no longer associate myself with them. So all ties have been severed with it. I'm trying to find something else for the remainder of the year. I'm probably going to end up doing a couple races for Mel Canyon. I'm trying to get back into USAC. We may have a couple things that we're working on. So I will definitely update everyone when that happens. So just to anyone who supported me while I've been there and will continue to support me, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I really appreciate it. And it's all my supporters who give me the strength to continue going in the sport. I mean, if it wasn't for everyone who I've had behind me, I probably would have backed out a long time ago. So thanks to everyone who has my back or has had my back. And I definitely can't wait to be back behind the wheel.
Definitely. Obviously, in the end, you got to do what's best for you, and we're hoping that you'll get that opportunity here soon enough.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Yeah, no problem. All right. So we got Darlington coming up. So it's that time of the year again. It's throwback time. A lot of throwbacks still coming out as we speak. Are there any that you guys saw that you really, really liked that you would think are some of your favorite throwbacks this year?
Oh, I think there's a lot of them out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's so many out there, though, but I think probably the most underrated one, or not underrated, but just not at least talked about so far, is Vargas's. Of that Jimmy Johnson throwback to his Chicago win. I think that one's really nice.
Oh, yeah.
I really like that one.
They did a good job. They copied the font and everything. That was probably the biggest thing. Obviously, it's not the same number, but it's so hard to copy number schemes and all that nowadays. I mean, everything's got to line up right, but that thing was really nice, I think, in the Xfinity car. I feel like the 36 car looks good. Copied Mario Goslin's Pro Cup car back then. They just released that this morning. And then the next Xfinity car is probably, I think, the best one out there. The Oreo Dale Jr. car from 02, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I love
that.
Oreo.
Definitely.
I think that's nice. And the Cup cars are all good, and I don't know how you can beat Jimmy Johnson's. I don't know. I know a lot of people didn't like that one, but I'm a big fan of that one. I finally bought a die-cast car, and that was the first one I got in a while.
Oh, I think the Jimmy Johnson one's pretty unique.
Yeah.
Because you got the Dale Earnhardt look, and even the Dale Earnhardt number font on the sides, and then you got Petty on the top of the car. I think that's different. I think it's unique. And, kind of pays homage.
Lisa.
What's up?
Can't have the number font. Teresa's going to come for you.
Oh, man. The Wicked Witch, Teresa. Yeah, we better not jinx Jimmy. But, yeah, still, I think it's a very unique car. It's something a little different. And I think it's a good way to pay homage to the other fellow 7-time champions and legends of the sport.
And I think it's really good. I don't know. I've been thinking about it all year because I'm a huge Jimmy fan. I've been waiting for what they were going to do. I'm kind of glad they went with that. He went with that concept too, because there's so many good cars that he's ran in the past. It would have been kind kind of hard, I think, to pick one of them, you know. So I think they went with the perfect solution, or Jimmy went with the perfect solution. It sounds like that he was the one behind the idea of it. So I don't know. I'm a big fan of it.
Oh, yeah, and definitely I think I would have to say the GMS squad and the Junior Motorsports squad. I mean, when they posted the GMS paint schemes, I just thought, oh, my God, there's not a single problem with any of those.
Yeah.
I mean, those all look just so sick. And we're going to have Biffle driving one of them, so that's kind of a bonus.
Yeah, we have the Biff. I think it was announced that Trevor Bain, I think, is going to run the truck race as well.
Yes. Oh, man, I can't wait to see that. You know, I think we've talked about it on here before. I've been to his coffee shop, spoke with him several times. Really cool dude. I'm so glad to see him getting another shot at this.
Yeah.
So hopefully he can go out and put in a good show.
Oh, definitely. We'll definitely have to stay tuned for that. Let's see here. Okay. But yeah.
And also, I just want to throw this out. I don't know what the deal is with Sadler this year, but there are 3 paint schemes that are Elliott Sadler throwbacks. I mean, I don't know what the deal is, why everyone was like, let's do Sadler throwbacks. But
yeah, because I think John Hunter Nemechek's doing one with Stuttgart, and Kyle Busch is doing one of his 2003 scheme. So I've noticed Elliott Sadler a trend
Joe Graff
this year. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Alrighty. And as a reminder, Trucks and Cup on Sunday, Xfinity on Saturday. And I think Danny Hamlin's in the Xfinity race, from what I saw.
Yeah, driving the 54 car, I believe.
Yep. So be able to look out for him. He'll probably be a favorite for sure.
Yeah, he's running the Yarborough throwback.
Yep, the Yarborough throwback. You're right.
Yeah, there's a few Yarborough throwbacks, which, I just think that's really cool because, my mom was a huge Cale Yarborough fan because her father was a huge Yarborough fan. And, I don't know, he's always just kind of seemed like sort of that gentleman driver, just kind of a real classy dude. So I've always liked him. It's awesome to see those. Which, by the way, I didn't mention this, but Nice Motorsports throwback trucks are looking nice, too. I mean, especially Ty Majeski's with the Brewster Baker car. I'm sure a lot of people, I don't even know if you guys have seen that movie, but it's definitely one worth watching for any race fan. So if you haven't seen it, look up Six Pack featuring Kenny Rogers. And, I think the full movie's on YouTube, so go check it out, and I don't think anyone would be disappointed by it.
All right. All right. What was another throwback that I saw? I think it was the 27. I think J.J. Yaley might be driving it. Yeah. It's
the Irwin car.
Yeah, the Nerf car.
Yeah, the Nerf car.
Yeah, I really like that one.
Yeah, they did a really good job of the colors and everything of it, transferred over. There's some teams, I don't know, that they don't transfer it over right, and that thing is really nice. Colors and everything match. It kind of looks like it's straight from the 90s.
Yeah, I love seeing that just because, I'm a huge Kenny Irwin fan just because, I kind of have the same background as him. So he's definitely one of those guys who I've always kind of looked up to. So it's awesome to see them paying tribute to him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely got that 90s feel to it with the bright neon colors. I love it. So, let's see here. Oh, yeah. So once again, NASCAR Twitter on it again. The Orange Cone, which we've had on here before, put a tweet out that said, describe NASCAR racing in 3 words or less. Go. And BMW USA's Twitter commented, better with BMW. And people went, is BMW coming to NASCAR? And,
Yeah. Apparently NASCAR to NBC actually did too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, gosh, that would certainly be interesting. Obviously, I don't think they have a production truck to use in the truck series, but I mean, I'd love to see a new manufacturer. You know me. I'd love to see a new manufacturer join the sport. Don't care who it is. So, I think it's funny. And of course, everyone's like, "Come to NASCAR, come to NASCAR." So, who knows when the next gen rolls around?
Yeah, I'd love to see them to do that.
Yeah, I think to add to it, I mean, that next gen car is gonna definitely interest a lot more car manufacturers. I feel like from that kind of pedigree, like BMW or maybe even a Honda or something, just because it fits their selling mold a lot better than what's out there right now. I don't think a lot of cars out there have the 4-speed box and stuff, obviously, like the current car is. So I think it's definitely going to entice new manufacturers into the sport.
Let's bring Dodge back.
Kia Stinger. That car was made for NASCAR, my friend. I really like the Kia Stinger. I think that would be I know the Kia's under Hyundai. I know Hyundai has been a pretty interesting rumor as well. I drive a Mazda. I'd like to see Mazda join as well, but that's probably unlikely. Well,
you never know, though. It could anything could happen in the next few years,
Oh, certainly.
They actually do have quite a bit of interest in the IMSA series with their prototype they run there, their DPI car. I don't know.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see. I know they dropped, I think, the TCR program. So I think you never know. I mean, you've seen interesting stuff, especially today with that BMW tweet. So I don't know. It could be interesting in 2022.
Oh, certainly. We're definitely looking forward to that. By the way, we were talking about our friend Lefty earlier. There is a petition going around to get his Allied Pride car to actually run in a race. It's on change.org if you want to find that petition. It's to get Lefty's Allied Pride car to actually run. I signed it. Michael signed it. I think it'd be pretty cool to have as well. Especially, who knows? Maybe Jimmy might be open to running this scheme at some point.
Yeah, I know it's unlikely, but you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So definitely got to do it. Go for it.
It's a good message, obviously, and it's a beautiful car too. It actually fits the design of that car really well with how all the colors are and all that. It looks good. It could be
really does.
Yeah. Actually, it's very popular on social media too. You can see it on Train Paint. I know he uploaded it to iRacing, I think, a few weeks ago. There's quite a bit of people running it on there and favorited it too. So I don't know. It's a good possibility.
Oh yeah, I love the colors on it. I think everything just fits so well on it, and I would really like to see this car out there on the track for sure. Whether it's this year or even next year with whoever takes over the 48, which still remains a mystery. Although something might have hinted yesterday in an interview that Hendrick had, saying that he already has a driver lined up, but he doesn't want to distract, quote, that team from being in the playoffs. So, who knows?
Would it be 2020, though, if it's actually Jimmy Johnson? He resigned? That'd be cool.
That would be so 2020.
Yeah, it would be.
Why can't he be the new driver? That's what I was going to ask him.
Yeah, especially I hate that Johnson is going out like this in the current circumstances in the world right now. Fans aren't able to come to races with COVID. He had to miss a race because he was tested positive, and obviously, he missed out on the playoffs and getting to run for championship number 8. And obviously, he will go down as for sure one of the greatest this sport's ever seen. mean, to win 5 straight championships is just unheard of. But I just hate that he won't get that proper send-off. You know what I'm saying?
No, exactly.
Yeah.
Luckily, I went to the 400 up in the stands, and it was crazy with how much the fans were behind him. I used to go to races when he was so dominant. Obviously, he had the booze almost equal to what Kyle Busch has nowadays. But it was crazy, like at the 400, every time they announced him or when he would go for the lead or make a big pass, the crowd would go wild. So I don't know. It's terrible to see that he's not going to be able to see that at every track, obviously, without the fans there, because I feel like it would really surprise a few people with how many people are just behind him, just wanting him to succeed. It's awesome to see, like I said, because I've been a fan of him forever, and for a long time you never heard the crowd go crazy for him just because he was so successful. So I kind of wish there were fans at every race like every other year would be. Obviously he can't, but hopefully he comes back next year and runs a few races because, I don't know, I think it'd be really eye-opening for people to see how many people are just cheering for him.
Oh, definitely. Because I know he's got some potential IndyCar races lined up, and, you know, he's definitely not done racing. Hopefully, maybe, who knows, maybe he'll come back and attempt the Daytona 500 next year. You never know.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Let's see here. Anything else you guys want to discuss or talk about that I might have missed?
Yeah, actually, just something interesting that somebody brought up, you know, because of Jimmy Johnson missing that race due to COVID, that likely prevented him from making the playoffs. And so someone brought this up, the World of Outlaws, where if you keep in the loop with dirt track racing, they had an outbreak after Knoxville a few weeks ago. So what they started doing is that they actually were awarding points to all the full-time drivers who had to miss a race by taking their average number of points earned over the season, and they would be credited with that for races missed. So is that something you think maybe NASCAR should consider doing?
Yeah. I could definitely see I think NASCAR could definitely take a look at that for sure. Because, you know, I think one of the things is had Jimmy not had missed Indy for COVID, I think it could have been it. And here's my other question too. I think Jared Iceberg brought this up. We get to the Championship 4. What if one of the Championship 4 drivers gets COVID? And what do you do then?
I think Bob Pockrass actually posted that if that happens, like say one of the Championship 4 drivers gets it, it's just going to be 3 at that point.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I'm serious. I think it's kind of the same policy. You'll get the waiver, and I think obviously if it's that week, you're gonna have to miss that race, and I don't think they're gonna bring anyone in your place either. So I don't know. It'll be interesting, but I think if it works out right for you, you know, you could just miss one race, which it seems like everyone has been if you get it. So hopefully you can win that next one or even the following, or if you're in like a Kevin Harvick area where you have so many points, you can just kind of almost transfer in still. So I don't think it might not end your season per se.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Harvick has enough points where, you know, he could miss the next 3 races and probably advance still, almost.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Let's see. So yeah, hopefully that won't happen. But that sounds like something that would happen in the year 2020. I think I know why 2020 has sucked because I think. Let me pull up the calculator because someone actually brought this up. If you take 2020, and I think it was you divide by 5, you get 404, like the error that you would get on your computer. So 2020 is just a glitch. That's what it is.
Hopefully that's the case, because that means the year's almost over and 2021 is going to be awesome. So.
Yep. Yeah, I forgot the name of the group, the music group. They They wrote a song recently called F2020. Oh, yeah, Avenue Beat. That's who made the song. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, because I've heard it on the radio. And, of course, it says, I'm feeling kind of done. Can we get the 2021, please? Or something like that.
I'll look that up.
Oh, yeah. I'll try and set it to here afterwards. Oh, yeah. We were talking about Lefty. I know Vargas posted this. Carnation and the lads got together to do a one-off small associate sponsorship on the car this weekend. Real great group of guys, all wanting to spread positivity throughout the racing community. Glad we made this happen. # We Love Lefty. So I actually chipped in and donated to this as well to get this decal on there. It has the lads and Lefty on there. And I think it's really cool to, and I think it's important more than ever to spread positivity throughout the community, because I don't think there's been much positivity, going around, especially on Twitter. And I always believe Twitter is a crap hole, if I'm trying to be appropriate. So, I think it's great that, we're doing that. And, just the amount of support that has poured out for him in the last 24 hours has been amazing. And let's continue to spread the positivity and continue to spread those vibes out there.
Yeah. I'll say this, though. If you think Twitter's bad, do not get on Facebook. Because Facebook is about 10 times as bad.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, social media, just like, sometimes the NFL, they'll like to call certain players a bust. Social media is just a bust at this point. Like, social media, how I see it, it can be used as a tool. It can be used as a weapon. And it seems to me a lot of people like using them as weapons. It's a damn shame, really. 10 years ago, I was like, oh, cool, you could connect with people you never thought you'd be able to connect to. Like for me, at that point, I was actually moving, and I got to stay in touch with old friends because of it. And now, 10 years later, it's just like, wow, people are a-holes on here. So, I don't know. You just shake your head at stuff like this.
Yep.
But besides that, I actually have to wrap up here in a few minutes because I am actually going to be doing play-by-play of a high school soccer game here this evening. All right. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about that I missed at all for potentially wrap things up?
I think I'm good. Preston, you good?
I'm good. Like I said earlier, I appreciate you guys getting me on here to do this.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Yeah, we loved having you, Preston. Preston, it was great having you.
Hopefully it was nice. Hopefully I didn't bug you guys too bad on this. It's not normal for me to get on and do a podcast, so hopefully if you guys ever need an open spot or something, I can jump on one day again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we'll certainly have you back on here at some point. All right, we'll go ahead and wrap things up here. Thank you guys so much for listening to another edition of the Dropping the Hammer Racing Hour here on The Grueling Truth. And remember to try and spread positivity in any way you can. Stay safe out there and be careful and enjoy the throwback racing this weekend at Darlington. From Preston Pardus, Michael Klein, and myself, Alex Gray, signing off, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.